New developments in President Trump's immigration crackdown in American Democrat-led cities as his administration faces a legal setback in one city. At the same time, Trump is escalating plans in another. In Oregon, a Trump-appointed federal judge has temporarily blocked his plan to deploy 200 National Guard troops to Portland. In the judge's ruling Saturday, the judge said Trump's claims about chaos in that city were, quote, untethered to the facts, end quote. Earlier today, the president blasted the judge's Oregon decision and continued to claim Portland is under threat.
Portland is burning to the ground. It's insurrectionists all over the place. It's Antifa, and yet the politicians who are petrified. Look, the politicians are afraid for their lives. That's the only reason that they say, like, there's nothing happening. And you've seen it. The place is burning down, and they pretend like there's nothing happening.
That Oregon ruling coming as President Trump announced that he is authorizing 300 members of the Illinois National Guard to be sent to Chicago over the objections of that state's governor. CNN's Rafael Romo is joining us right now with more on all this. A lot happening in a lot of places all at once.
Yeah, a lot happening, especially the three states that you mentioned, Illinois, Oregon, and California. And let me tell you, Fred, there have been anti-ICE protests in cities like Chicago and Portland, Oregon for weeks now. President Donald Trump and his administration are framing these demonstrations as violent protests carried out by domestic terrorists. In an interview with Fox News this morning, Homeland Security Secretary Noem states, without providing evidence, that protests and confrontations with federal agents are part of an organized movement funded by gangs, terrorists, and drug cartel members. She cited drivers in Chicago who allegedly rammed their cars into a vehicle carrying federal agents, prompting one agent to shoot and injure a woman. The Department of Justice announced that 2 people have been charged in federal court with using their vehicles to assault, impede, and interfere with the work of federal agents in Chicago. And this is all happening the same weekend Trump is deploying 300 California National Guard members to Oregon, according to California Governor Gavin Newsom, even after a judge temporarily blocked the order. Newsom says he's planning to sue over the deployment. But this is what Secretary Noem had to say this morning. Let's take a listen.
I've encouraged the governor of Oregon and of Illinois and that attorney general should go down and spend some time with our ICE officers and with our Border Patrol officers and encounter the protesters that they do, because these individuals are shouting hateful things at them, threatening their families, putting their hands on them, and acts of violence are occurring on a regular basis.
In an interview with CNN earlier today, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker criticized the Trump administration for last week's raid in the city of Chicago, featured in a DHS video posted on X this weekend. According to the governor, U.S. citizens, children, and elderly people were detained for hours without cause.
What kind of a country are we living in? And this raid at this building is emblematic of what ICE and CBP and the President of the United States, Kristi Noem and Greg Bovino, are trying to do. They want mayhem on the ground. They want to create the war zone so that they can send in even more troops. Now they're claiming they need 300 of Illinois' National Guard.
Regarding that incident, the Department of Homeland Security spokesperson told CNN that the raid was part of a multi-agency operation that led to the arrest of 37 undocumented immigrants, most of them from Venezuela, but also included people from Mexico, Nigeria, and Colombia. So a very complicated situation in all those 3 states.
All right.